So in problem 2.6.3, we're told that x1, x2, and x3 are independent random variables that each have a mean mu and a variance sigma squared. And we're asked to find the mean and variance of these new random variables, y, which is 3 times x1, and z, which is x1 plus x2 and plus x3. And it wants us to compare the means and variances between these. Now this is just trying to get you to realize a small subtle point that you would think of x1 and x2 and x3, they each have the same mean and same variance. You might think that it doesn't really matter if you add three of them together or if you just multiply 1 by 3. So let's actually take a look at what happens to the mean and variances in these two situations. So two things that seem very similar, where we're timesing one variable by 3 or adding 3 variables together. And let's see what happens. So the expected value of y would be the expected value of 3 times x1. Now if you remember all of your rules, this 3 just comes out, so it's 3 times the expected value of x1, which they each have a mean mu, so that's just 3 times mu, so 3 mu. Now let's find the expected value of z, so we can compare. So that's the expected value of z, which is x1 plus x2 plus x3, or take the expected value of each one individually, because that's what we do, and you add them up. So expected value of x2 plus the expected value of x3. So each expected value is mu, so mu plus mu equals 3 mu. So look, these two are the same. So the expected value, it doesn't really matter if you add 3 of the random variables that are the same or if you times one of them by 3. But let's see what happens to the variance. So the variance of y is the variance of 3 times x1. Now that 3 gets to come out, but when it comes out of a variance, it comes out squared. So it's 3 times the variance of x1, or in this case 9 times the variance of x1, which is sigma squared. Now, variance of z. This is the variance of x1 plus x2 plus x3, which is the variance, so you do the variance of each one added together, as long as they are independent. You can just add each individual variance. Okay, so this would be variance of x1 is sigma squared, variance of x2 is sigma squared, variance of x3 is sigma squared. So this gives me 3 sigma squared. So notice if we add 3 of the variables together, that's different from just timesing one variable by 3. We get different variances. Because when you multiply by 3, you're starting to get in bigger numbers because you're multiplying by 3, so you get bigger numbers, so you get bigger variances. So that's just what I wanted you to see, is the difference between those.